One point, our younger generation going to read that, they're going to believe, this is what exactly happened. Whatever my parents told me, it's fake. If you don't know who you are, then you become nobody into this world. And you looks like you have a freedom. Looks like you have no war there. Looks like everything is okay. No, it's not okay. Somebody is watching you. Somebody will arrest you. Somebody will kill you. Karthik Subraj, Vijay Sethupathi, Nalan. We all used to sit in the Skype and talk hours and hours. We talk about my script day and night.
Hey everybody, welcome to Punch Dialogue. I hope everybody's having a great day because we know we are, because we love this space that we're in right now, and we have an amazing guest with us. His name is Ranjith Joseph. He is the director of Sinamkol, and he has another movie coming in May. We'll talk about that in a bit. But first, Ranjith, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Very good, man. Very good. It's an honor to have you here because you're
me too. I'm honored to be here with you guys.
You're an established filmmaker and you've done a lot in your career already. And you have a new movie coming up. But I just wanted to ask you first, like from filmmaker to filmmaker, how did you get into the business and why do you make your movies?
Well, like as a normal Tamil person, my parents wanted me to do something else. So I went to study for architect.
They wanted you to be an architect first.
No, they never told me to do it. They told me to do something, it's money-making field, which is,
Architect.
Yeah, architect, which is my grandpa is kind of a builder in back home. So I kind of interest on that area. So I decided, because I don't even know anything about architect, honestly. So I decided, okay, let me study architect. So I can build a house. So I went to university. First year is fine. But the second year, problems start because too much English, which is really, really hard for me. I decided, no, this is not what I want to do.
And you went to school here then?
Yeah. Okay. I started grade 11.
Okay.
So I came to Canada when I was 18. I was 17, yeah. So yeah, all my life I study Tamil medium. Right away when we hear, then Tamil, English. Yeah. It's, come on, think about it. Like we go to class and they speak English. Don't know anything about anything. We were like, okay, should I take a flight and go back?
Yeah, you know what? I can resonate with that because I came here like in 2000 and I did not know a word of English. I did not know it. And I failed. I told you this story so many times. I got F and I got, they failed me. I got to take summer school. So I know how that feels.
Yeah. So I don't know what to do. So I dropped out for university. But then... probably you guys know there is the filmmakers, Jason, Amal, Pras, we all like early Canadian Tamil filmmakers. So these guys did a documentary called Death of Innocence. So one day they asked me, okay, can you do a voiceover for this? So I said, okay, fine, I'll do it. But it's in Tamil, like poems. So it's about the gang violence, what's happening in Toronto. So I did that voiceover and they show that documentary in, I think, Royal Museum or somewhere.
Damn.
The Justin Trudeau was the guest.
Whoa.
That time. He's a youth spokesperson or something like that. I don't remember anything. So there was over 1,000 crowd was there and they loved it. And everybody come and shake my hand. They said, oh, you have good writing skills. You have a good poems. Blah, blah. That moment I decided, okay, this is working well. And also my grandpa is the storyteller. So this guy, like in a wartime, every day evening we sit in the front of our house and he keeps telling us stories. But those stories you can't even find anywhere in this world. Everything is imaginations. Sometimes he tells us stories for 1 month. So one day, like 1 hour, story end. The next day he continues the story.
Oh,
everything is from his head.
Damn.
So like, what a storyteller,
Yeah.
So that, maybe I should try to do that. Then I decided to go to film school.
Oh.
English is the problem. That's why I dropped out from architect, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to the film school and English again. But somehow I managed to pass that and I become a filmmaker. I did a short movie called Thurogam. It's well reached in, and then I went to India. Work as a assistant director. I want to know because theoretically I know the cinema, but I also I want to know practically, the field work, how it works, how they do the movie and stuff, because it's not easy to get into Hollywood here.
Yeah.
They won't even open the door for you. So easy for me to go to India because some sort of influence. I started work with this director called Sasi. His famous movie is Pichaikaran. Sollamale Poo. So I worked that movie as associate director.
You worked
From
on
there-
Poo as well.
Huh?
Poo as well.
Yeah, Poos. I worked in a Poo.
For English audience, it's not Poo. Poo means flower.
I know,
Is it? Yo, it's one of my favorite movies actually.
I acted, I just like 5 seconds I comes.
And Poo?
And I acted as his Sri Lankan friend in a college mate.
I'm gonna watch that movie again. Yo, I really love that
You'll
movie.
see a young guy with the black hair and everything.
Okay,
No
I know what I'm doing
freaking
tonight.
way.
Okay, that's
okay,
crazy.
so we're this is a legit celebrity sitting beside us right now, man.
So wait, a question. So you said it was hard to get into Hollywood here because Hollywood has closed doors. It's very
Yeah.
tight. But you said it's easier to go to India and learn.
No, the easier means like the qualification what I have because I studied here. I have some experience. I already shot like a few short movies. So it's not that easy, but you have these kind of qualification also. I met this Sasi, director Sasi. I showed to him my works and but he told me to go watch this movie called Happy Days, one of the movie. Then he told me, okay, write a review about this movie. So I wrote a review based on what I understand the film. And he kind of liked it. He said, okay, I like the way you approaching the movies. Then he said, okay, work with me. So that's how I start, yeah.
How long was that period? Like how many months have you worked with them?
I worked with him almost 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, I went to India 2007.
Yeah.
Until 2000, we finished the movie. Like I was early stage of script writing, script working on the Poo. I was there with him and filming, post-production, almost 2 years. Then he told me like, okay, Ranjith, you have theoretical knowledge about movies and stuff. Now you also learn about practical way of moving. You should start your own movie. Then I came back to Canada. I did a movie called $9.50. That is my first so-called feature movie. I can really say it. Went well. I think. It's about our gang violence, youth issues.
Yeah.
Then like, okay, so should I go? Like, I don't know, like if I want to go to India and start work in India. Then I went to India. Me and Vijay Sethupathi supposed to do a movie called Panay.
Oh,
So that's 2012. He's no famous. He's just a normal guy. We used to sit around in the coffee shop in Chennai, like coffee days. We talk about my script for a day and night.
you and him are working on a short film together.
No, the feature.
Feature
Okay.
film. And
Yeah.
you were like having a tea with Vijay Sethupathi.
Yeah.
We were talking about
Yeah. Me and him and this guy named Manigandan. Manigandan is one of my good friend who worked with me in Poo as an associate cameraman. He's the one who did movie called
Pasanga?
no, what's a movie called? Right away. His recent movie is Kadasi Vivasai.
Damn it, man. Soda Bodo?
Hey, cameraman, Pras, what is the movie name, man? Huh?
Kaka
Kakai Mutta. Yes.
And we call ourselves
okay, our
movie
director
fanatics.
Pras helped me out. Like, it's Kaka Muttai.
Yeah.
Kaka Muttai is the first. Yeah, he's my good friend. So that's how I got linked with Vijay Sethupathi and Karthik Subraj, Vijay Sethupathi, Nalan. We all used to sit in the Skype and talk hours and hours.
Wow.
And yeah, me and Vijay Sethupathi were planning to do this movie. It's based on our story, but we didn't get any producer. After that, and he started Pizza.
Yeah.
And
then he blew up.
He's in somewhere. Then after that, then one day I got a phone call from Vishal, actor Vishal. He wanted to do the same movie because that time one of our Eelam video got released and everybody got emotional based on that. There's a journalist got naked and killed. So all the Indian actors have got really emotional. So Vishal said, I want to do a movie about Eelam. So someone told him that this guy have a story. So he called me. I went to India. So I narrated to him. Then he loved it and we put an office. We start to work on the pre-production. Almost 6 months we worked for that. And even I went to Cambodia to look for the locations. He sent me. So everything's not, but the budget was too high. So it's like a 10 crore in Indian rupees. So he's willing to invest 50%. But I have to bring another 50 from my side of people. I approach many peoples, but no one.
No one.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you still have that story though. And
Oh
you're still
yeah, one
planning
of
to
my
make
dream
it?
project.
Okay.
One of
So
my
it can
dream
still
project.
happen with Vishal if you have 50% of the budget. figure.
Yeah, but then he told me like, okay, Ranjit, and this is I can't do more than that. So and I understand him. I don't want to. He's someone is willing to do something for our stories, and he's willing to invest his money, willing to give his dates for us. But I couldn't get anybody from my side. It is really sad, right? Then I decided, you know what, I will come to you one day. Then I came back to Canada. Then we started work on like a local people. Then that's how Sinamkol started.
Oh, okay. Wow.
That is my journey.
What a journey. Wow.
Yeah, man, that's like so. Tell us about Sinamkol. Like you told me earlier about the struggle of making that movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, can you tell us what that process was like? Was it like you already faced so many hardship, right, to make like leading to Sinamkol, right? So how was that process like? Like, what was the location? It was in Sri Lanka or India? Like, did you like switch back and forth?
So when it comes to Eelam movies, right, I always want to do a movie, shoot a movie in Sri Lanka. There is no way that I can choose a different locations because in our land, the way our land and the people, everything is totally different from Indian Tamils. No, you can't even match that. So I don't want to fake it. So always if I want to do a movie about Eelam, so I have to go to Sri Lanka. So the last visit was 2005 when everything was fine. So I was there for a couple of months. I was with them. I learned a lot of things from them. So I always want to do a movie about our backstory. So Sinamkol, first initially we start for a documentary about people's land, people's missing peoples, about that. So I went to Sri Lanka, TamilEelam. I met a writer called Pichaikaran. So me and Pichaikaran, we started travel together to meet many peoples.
Yeah.
Through the traveling, we find a story about a Porali, a rebel coming out from this jail, and like he's the way after 2009 he spent his almost 9 years inside, and he coming out. How we see the country now, like how the people change, how the land change, how the cultural change. So we want to tell story through his eyes, like his idea, his point of view about Eelam right now. That's how the story start. But we had a producers, like one of the main producer from Europe.
Yeah.
The guy really ready to invest 50% of the budget. And I connect with other people. We got some other investors from Canada and India and Sri Lanka. So that's how this movie start. But it's not easy task because doing a movie in Sri Lanka, first, I don't know about if it's the singular movies goes like that, but if you want to do a Tamil movie, you have to give a script to the film society, film corporation in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
So they have to read the script and they have to approve it. So 3 points they said, you should not talk about these kind of elements. One is defense ministry, defense peoples, defense, this is army, police, all kind of, Navy, and you shouldn't, like our story should not talk about against them.
Oh wow.
Without that, how are we going to tell a story, right?
Yeah.
So, but we managed to write a different script. Anyway, so we did something, okay?
Yeah.
We did something and we got approved. We start filming 2017. But like a 15 days passed and the Sri Lankan government got complaint about this movie is based on LTTE.
Oh damn.
So they stopped the movie.
Did somebody snitch on you?
Yeah, somebody did.
So how did
who
somebody
snitched
snitch?
on you?
Because, 75 crew members, cast and crew members, one of the person from their side.
Did you find out who?
No, but we know someone from ours because we have like a very secure, like we don't allow outsiders inside the filming area. So someone from us, I know that, but I don't know who is it.
So somebody snitched to the government or some organization, and then they had to stop your shooting because.
For 15 days.
Whoa.
So like a technician from India, technician from Colombo, Sri Lanka, and from our side people, almost 70 to 75 people was there. So we have to wait the government to allow us to shoot again.
Oh man.
So it took 15 days. So 15 days we spent food expensive, hotel expensive, everything. We were waiting. One point we decided to go for a public. We had this reason because, okay, the government approved us to do this movie. So I call all the technicians in Canada, from like different places. They all here now. I'm spending this much of money, wasting money. you guys the government not even approving us to start the filming again. So we decide, okay, you know what, we will go to the media, we'll tell them, we'll tell this story. So we informed the film corporation that if you guys are not going to allow us to start the filming, we're going to go to the public meeting, we're going to give the media about this information. And the next day they came and said, okay, you can start filming, but there is conditions. They will send two filmmakers from their side. The guy going to sit beside me, going to watch every single shot that I'm going to do, and the script, the scene, dialogue.
Wow.
Because he wants to make sure that everything is okay.
When you say their side, what side are you talking about?
You know what side I'm talking about. Because
That's what I'm thinking. But like, it's so weird coming from, like, I'm a born filmmaker here in Canada, even though I know the struggles there. But like, to have a filmmaker sit beside you and decide what's okay and not okay, that just seems so like obscure. It's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, you know, like it's control your creativeness, and also like someone is monitoring you, someone is telling you what to do. So we managed. Trust me, we have always plan B. The plan B's work very well. So the guy, we give him a car and we give him something to boost himself, and we give him a vacation.
Nice.
And he never come to the set.
Wow. Perfect.
Then we
He's
went
gonna get
for-
fired right now.
That's how the game is played.
No, that's the funny thing. That guy, the person, the monitor is like whoever comes in. He told me one thing, Ranjith, I know what you guys did, but I hope you're not going to release this movie in Sri Lanka, because if you're going to release it, then I will face the problem. I said, I don't know if that's possible, but I hope your government going to allow this movie to release in Sri Lanka. That is the big question, because censor board, right? Obviously, we want to release this movie in back home, but the censor board said they have to cut 50% of the movie. I said, no, I'm not allowing you that.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to release the movie in Sri Lanka. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we went to a lot of struggle for Sinamkol, but
So
I'm happy.
what was the budget for this movie? And it seems like through all this hardship, it seems like we might have even lost some money.
Yeah, like 250,000 Canadian dollars, I believe, even more.
To make this movie.
Sinamkol.
Okay.
They were talking. Yeah, Sinamkol. Yeah, $139,000 we made back.
Okay. Well,
So the balance is gone, because
jeez.
point is COVID, because our movie got released 2020 January, February, March. Around that time, the COVID start, the theater all closed, and we didn't have a chance to release the movie again. Then we try Amazon, Netflix. That is another story. So see, technically this movie is Tamil movie.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not a Canadian. So even though I'm a Canadian filmmaker, this movie is a Tamil movie. So if you go into if you approach Netflix or Amazon, they said, okay, we have an agent in South Asia, in India, South India. You go approach them and give your movie. They will make a decision. Then we will buy the movie.
Yeah.
So I went to India. I met that Netflix, Amazon agent, which is Tamil Nadu. We met him. So they watched the movie. They said, no, we're not going to buy it. I said, why? Because this movie is about LTT. It's terrorist. We banned the terrorists in India. How can you release someone?
Yeah.
You know, I said, but this movie is not about LTT. It's about our struggle. It's about our issues, right? They said, no. I'm not going to allow this movie for Netflix. We can't do that. Then I found out that agents, not Tamil.
Okay.
So,
What's
so
their
that's-
background? What's their background? Drop it. No, it's okay. You don't have to.
They're South Indians, that's all.
Okay.
So they're still there. They're the one they make a decision. So even though if I'm going to take the Uli, as I said, can you release this movie in Uli? They're still going to say no to us, because they want to make sure something against us they will release, like a Family Man. Have you watched this movie called Family Man?
There's a lot of
Madras
controversy.
Cafe. They will release something is against us. They will release something is supporting us. They're not going to release. They will make sure that Indian system is make sure that none of these kind of movies get released internationally through this platform. It is tough, but we're gonna go through this. We'll fight.
I mean, this is what we're struggling with right now, right? We can't find a major platform to showcase our work, and at the same time telling us our stories, right? And we're struggling with that too, right? Sometimes with our short films where we get backlash for the stuff that we're talking about. But it's our stories.
Right.
But just like you said, we will get through it. Right now, the landscape when it comes to like showing our work is changing constantly.
Yeah.
It's not one person who's controlling everything. There's a lot of players now and a lot of interest. So we're definitely gonna get there. But yeah, so tell us about the next one then. Like, after Sinamkol. Actually, sorry. What was the reception for the movie? Like, did the audience love it? Like, what?
Yeah, see, Sinamkol, like audience loved it because I remember like in the same theater here, we released it for one of the show. There was an old lady, 70, I believe her age is around 70 to 75.
Okay.
She came to watch the movie and he came after movie came to me and he said, Tampi, I'm so happy that I watched your film. I want to talk to you. You're going to be here? I said, I'm going to be here for a while. Okay, I'll be back. So she went. There's a 30 to 50 steps that you have to go up. This old lady went up. And after half an hour, she came back and he gave me an envelope. He said, keep this. This is my gift for you.
Yeah.
And I want to say thank you. And she left. So a lot of people around me that we were talking about movies. I didn't even pay attention to open that envelope. So I went home. I opened the envelope. $500 was there.
Wow.
Is this a 70-year-old woman that came to see the movie?
And she told me one thing. I got to remember that. She told me one thing that in my age, it's not possible for me to take a flight and go back home, but you show the land.
Wow.
Through your movie, I saw my country. I saw my people. I saw my Nallur Koil. I saw everything. I'm happy that I won't get to see these kind of like a sceneries or my land, my street, my people. So movie, it's possible. Like through my movie, I saw to them. So this already give me $500. I still remember that. I always, whenever I do my interview about Sinamkol, I always mention that because this is what about it. So the people loved it. Like everywhere is houseful and everything. Only I believe it's COVID is the reason that we got back the thing.
Yeah.
But, still I lost.
Yeah. All good.
Yeah.
But do you think like your movies are well received among the older generation, right? Do you think, what about the younger generation? Do you think there's like some sort of barrier for you to reach out to them? Like, even like when it comes to Eelam movies, like, do you think there's a barrier to get to the younger generation in Canada? Because I know they're like busy with TikTok and, they want to watch Hollywood movies and Indian movies. But do you think there's like a thirst, like, wanting to watch our movie? There's a need for it.
Yeah, because there is a barrier because number one, most of the movies are coming from back home or previously made it. The way of storytelling or way of technical ideas, maybe our younger generation don't like it. Like they just, they don't even think that they consider it even our lives like this is a film because they think it's something. But another part is like make them to understand our stories, like the way of you writing your script, my idea, the way of I decide to do with my movies, even especially Oozhi, my movie, even like not for our older generations. It's for our younger people.
Okay.
Because that's the way I planned my screenplay. So another thing is like we need to approach them. We need to reach out them. Like most of the marketing strategy, like what we do, like most of the Eelam filmmakers, what they do is they put a advertisement in radio, television, newspapers. Any young generations like they listen radios or TV, reading newspapers? No. So we have to change our marketing strategy. How are we going to reach them? How are we going to tell them, approach them? So now we have all these social medias, right? So we can approach them easily. And also we have to make believe like that. We have to, our younger generation have to think that, okay, this story is not only a movie. It's not entertaining me. It's making me to learn about my culture, learn about my country, learn about my peoples. Yeah. So we have to make them to believe that. So because if you don't know your history, if you don't know who you are, then you're zero. Damn. So we have to make sure that my son, because my son, when he typed, I told him, he asked me like, what is your movie name? I said, Oozhi. So he went and typed on Google things, then it came service.
Service. Is it about service?
No, it's Oozhi is a different meaning. It's a dark age.
Damn.
You know?
Okay.
Even some older people don't even know the meaning. So the word, it's like uli, it's different meaning in Google. So this is the problem between the younger generation and them. So we have to make them to understand about our stories.
That's such an interesting thing because like a lot of people trust Google. Like Google has the answer to everything.
Yeah.
But if you're typing into Google what uli means and it doesn't know,
Yeah.
the only people that know are people like you that understand the language and want to share the story.
And if it's a service, I wouldn't watch it.
If you thought it's about service.
Yeah.
What the movie is about service for what kind of service? You know, no, but uli is about dark age. Like, see, after 2009, okay, 2009 to 2020 was 15 years. Without our leader, without our rebels, the country is going in a different direction right now. Under their control, in the Sri Lankan government control. So what's happening now? It's a lot of things are happening in Sri Lanka right now, in back home, in TamilEelam. You know, our younger generations, they are going to the different directions. It's easy to get drugs there and cheaper. So like drugs is the big role in there right now. Like I can see like most of the kids, I shouldn't say everybody, most of the kids somehow they are falling to that area. So think about it, like before 2009, the 18, 20, 90, 21, all like fighters, warriors. They fight for countries. If you go back home right now, those kind of same age, none of them are not warriors. None of them have like, they are in a different intention, they different mood and lifestyle. So this is what the government want. They're changing these kids. So basically Uli movie is about them.
Yeah.
You know,
About
like
the
in the
18 to 20 year old, like that
yeah,
generation.
their generation, how they're changing, what we are losing here. You know, like what's happening in back home. We are losing land. We're losing cultural places. We're losing like younger generations. We're gonna slowly we're gonna lose most of our everything. We're gonna lose everything. In Sri Lankan army, the 100% army, like 80% of the army in northern east side right now. Why they are still there? There's no war happening.
80%?
80% of the army
That's like a lot
staying
of
in
people.
our areas, northern east areas. Why they're staying there?
To keep an eye.
For what? Like, so that's what the problem, because they want to make sure that nothing's happened. They want to make sure that it's kind of you looks like you have a freedom. Looks like you have no war there. Looks like everything is okay. No, it's not okay. Somebody is watching you. Somebody will arrest you. Somebody will kill you anytime. That's
scary.
what's happening right now. Okay, so the movies talk about that.
We know how important it is to tell like our stories, right? We know that, right? And you know, and we're in the midst of like creating our own industry too, to tell our stories, right? But I feel like sometimes it's always about war, right? Like we want to see different things. Like, you know, we want to laugh too, right? I feel like we have so many other stories to tell too, right? Why is it always about like war and struggle? Like, I don't know. It just, sometimes I don't want to, like, I know my story already, right? I know my story.
Yeah.
Right? Like sometimes I don't feel like the need to like go and watch it in the theaters.
Yeah, but see, who's going to tell our story then? If we don't tell, who's going to tell? See, there are many people saying, okay, every time Eelam movies, it's about war. It's about, death and blood and all kind of things. But that is how we lived, because 1,000 years we are facing a war. You know, we had a great king called Raja Solan. What happened to him? There is Karigalan. There is so many kings. What happened to them? Because they faced the war. Because I believe there's only people face war all the time is Tamil people. Because Tamil is the oldest language in the world. So if you think it's the oldest language, they had a great kingdom. They had like huge cultural background and everything. So they faced the war all the time.
Damn.
To establish themselves. They stay back. Like for example, Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, it's called like Sri Lanka name came out. When does that name came out? It's after the British. After British was ruling Sri Lanka, the name is Ceylon.
Yeah.
After Ceylon, it's Sri Lanka. Who named it? It's Sinhalese named it. But originally, it's Eelam is Sri Lanka. So entire Eelam is ours, a Tamil peoples.
Damn.
In singular society, in singular peoples, they don't have a fisherman society. They don't have a fisherman community at all.
Okay.
In caste wise. But they do have a fisherman people right now. Who are they then? Go back and ask that question. See, the First World War, after First World War, the Sri Lankan, the British government said, okay, you can learn and study in your own language. So in Sinhala area, the fisherman community, which is our Tamil people, they were in the Sinhala area too. They only get to learn instead like going to school and learn in Sinhala medium. When you learn in Sinhala language, you will think in Sinhala language, you will speak in Sinhala language, and one point you will become a Sinhala. See, if in Sri Lanka right now, the most of the fisherman community around the Sri Lanka are Tamil people, but they speak Sinhala. In Northern East, which is our place, TamilEelam, our homeland, speak Tamil. So think about it historically, the whole Sri Lanka is to us, as our country. Okay? So Vijayan, even Sinhala history said, okay, Vijayan came from somewhere else, somewhere in India.
Who is Vijayan?
Vijayan is the king, like one of the guy who came to Sri Lanka, and Ceylon, and Eelam came and he married a girl. There's a history. We need a long.
Yeah, I just want to clear up for the audience. Yeah, Vijayan, like he came into he's the one who became the Sinhalese king.
King, yeah. So before that, like somebody was left there. So who was those people? Like it's always like it's like a Canada. I'm from Canada. The white people said, Canada is my country. Okay, you came from somewhere,
right?
But someone already here. They are there, belongs here. This countries belong to them, not to you. You are just like us, as like Sri Lankan, like a people who came from all over the world, just like us. Don't call that this is your country. So just like that, in Ceylon, in Sri Lanka, in Eelam, which is the original name is Eelam, is belong to us. So this story is nobody knows. Like if you go and ask the younger generation, do they know that? No. Nobody knows. And Sri Lankan government changing that. They changing every history right now. So they were doing a movie called Ravana right now in Sinhala language. One of our Tamil producers is producing that movie. Okay. In that, Ravana is basically the story saying that Ravana is Sinhala guy, not a Tamilian. We all know the great Ravanan, it's Tamil.
Yeah.
He's a Tamil king.
He's a Tamil king, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But they're changing. No, Ravana is not Tamil. It's a Sinhala.
What the hell? Who's producing this movie?
So in the story, they wrote Ravana as a Sinhala king.
Sinhala king. But Ravana, you see, even Indian perspective, like they were saying Ravanan is it's like a bad guy who kidnaps somebody's wife and he wants to marry her. That's why the war started. That's why we killed Ravanan. No. Ravanan is a great God worship, like God Shivan. He's a great follower of God Shivan.
Yeah.
And he has he has a 10 head. That's what they call Pattu Thalai. He never had 10 Thalai. It means 10 things that he music, all kind of elements that you said. He's very good into that. That's what they call him Pattu Thalai.
Yeah, he's multifaceted.
Multi-talented. Multi-talented, and the people love him. And he has a great battalion. So he has a great leaders. Great people followed him, right?
And I read somewhere in the history too that under him there was no poor man. His kingdom was rich and there was no poverty. And Ravanan.
And his musically is great. Like there were songs always. He sing. Yeah. He play instrument. It's called yal.
Yeah, damn.
So this king, an Indian story saying that he kidnapped Raman's wife.
Yeah, you see that story over and over again. Bollywood makes that movie so many times.
Someone wrote a story about Ravanan, mentioning that he's a bad person. We start to believe in that. A thousand years. Even now, our people still believe Ravanan is a bad person.
Not all of them, though. Not all of them.
Yeah, slightly people realizing that. But what's happening is Ravanan. But that is the history. That's how they make the history. So right now, if we don't talk about our history, we don't do a movie or write up about our history, this will be changed. Sinhala or other people who against us, they're going to write something against our leader, against our freedom fights and everything. One point, our younger generation going to read that. Oh, they're going to believe, this is what exactly happened. Whatever my parents told me, it's fake. because the knowledgeable people writing something is, literature people or filmmakers or people, those kind of leadership position people writing something, the people going to believe them.
Yeah, that's true.
The history. So as a filmmakers, I always want to talk about my movie. I always want to do a war, because war, we never loved war. So what happened was, like, up to 1970s, we went ahimsa. We used ahimsa against our struggle.
Yeah, I remember the
So our leader said, who decide, like in Tamil, I can't say it in English, like you could translate it. Like he said, எதிரி வந்து தான் என்னுடைய நான் என்ன ஆயுதத்தை எடுக்க வேணுமோ அவர் டிசைட் பண்றான்.
Yeah, so it's up to the oppressor to decide if I should take up my weapons or not.
Yeah. So they made us to do it, right? So we were facing the war. So our life is within war, with like war, everything is inside. So I can't talk or I can't do a movie or story or anything without a war, because my friends died in the war. So should I leave him and write about my history? No, my friend, one of my good friend died. So if I want to mention about him, then I have to obviously mention about the war. I have to go through everything. So our movies, eventually we will do a comedy movie, we will do a love story, we will do everything, but everything will have war. You cannot do any sort of arts without war.
And I think that's important, because people think the war is just an Eelam story, but there's war everywhere. It's always going to happen. It's like human nature for war.
Yeah.
So our generation, our parents' generation has been through it. So maybe the onus is on us to share that story. So not only Eelam can learn from it, it's everyone too, right?
Yeah.
It's such a common human story.
And the war just recently ended too, right? 2009, right? It's still fresh in our minds, right? So I can see why, we feel the need to tell it too, right? And it's also our responsibility, I guess. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
And his war is not ever end.
Yeah, it's never going to end. No.
It's still happening in a different way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The physical war may have ended, I guess.
Yes.
But the other types of things is not.
So then the challenge comes when, okay, you decide to make this movie about a war, about the Eelam struggle. So then you go there and then you have all these hardships facing the government and the film board and all this. So then how are you actually making a movie about the war struggle in Jaffna? You're in Jaffna shooting.
Yeah.
So how is it? Like, how is the crew there? Were they Sinhala, Tamil, mixed? Like, how do you find people to help you with that story there?
Yeah, the same problem. Like when you want to do a movie in back home about our people, our stories, you have to go through the film board. You have to give them a script. They have to approve it, and they will decide the locations. They will, because all the police, army, all kind of, their security system is involved. So, but we managed to write something based on their idea, because like a script writing, like when you want to tell a story, you don't really have to mention. Visual media has a different way of telling a story. So I know what in my mind, like what I want to show. But as a writing, I saw something. I write something, but in visual, I do something, right? So somehow we managed to get into approval and do a movie. Then when it comes to technicians, because still we don't have a camera unit in back home, which is TamilEelam. We don't have any camera unit. We don't have a light man units. So we have to get these people from Sri Lanka, Colombo. So they are Sinhalese. So imagine, like, we are doing a movie about our story, about our freedom fighters.
Yeah.
And they're going to be there and watching us.
Yeah.
Then, and like, if they're not happy about it, it will affect in their work.
Yeah, they're gonna
but I
cause
have
some
to
cops.
face that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we managed to do that. And also, like, I should say this, but not every single people against us.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Basically, artists, talent people, artists, they have a soft kind of heart. Then they understanding the needs of Tamil peoples.
Yeah.
They understand. So in my crew, like the people who work with me, Sinhala technicians, one of the technicians even told me, if it's Prabhakaran still alive, our country won't be. Yeah, we will face the war.
Yeah.
But economically, we will be fine.
Wait, sorry. Who told you this?
A single technician told me.
A Sinhalese technician told you that if
technician told me.
Prabhakaran was alive,
Yeah.
we would not be in this situation. With the economy,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and he told
That's
me.
powerful right there.
Yes, and another technician. They call like a gaffer, like a lighting.
Yeah.
He told me, I used to work with LTDA in 2002, 2003, 2004.
The gaffer used to work with LTT.
LTE.
Okay.
Singlish gaffer?
Singlish gaffer. And he told me in that time, LTT Yekam, like our Poraligal, LTT had a super cameras, better camera, lightings, all the technical needs for the filmmaking, they had it. Not Sri Lankan guy. I mean, the single side don't have it. So he loved to work with them because of the new technology they have.
And what was he doing with the LTD? Making their videos?
Yeah,
and
no,
films?
making
What-
their movies. So he was part of the lighting area, and he worked with them almost. He said he started to work with them 2001 to 2006.
This reminds me of the quote that Prabhupada said once. It's not that they're against the Sinhalese people, it's against the institution that's suppressing the Eelam Tamils.
Yes.
A great example of that.
Yes, and also like that's the part, like the singular technician is work with. Some are against us, we managed to deal with them, but and other artists like our actors, and everybody from our homeland, back home people, and there is right now in TamilEelam we have many talent artists now.
Wow.
All you need to have a script and budget.
Yeah.
If you go over there, you can do a super movie there. Trust me.
I heard something.
Yeah.
I heard that you got investors to pitch into your idea, but you didn't have a script. With that, having a script, you went and looked for, you started to scout for locations.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, because see, after Sinamkol, I was almost 5-6 years, right? So I didn't do any movie. I've been trying to do different movies in Tamil Nadu too, but it didn't work out. So one of a person who released a Sinamkol in Australia, and like he called me when we were talking. He said that I will invest some money.
Yeah.
Whatever you made in Australia, I'll invest the same amount of money, start to do some movies. So I like the idea. So I call different countries. I call people and I said, I'm planning to do a movie. Can you invest something?
Yeah.
They all say yes. But I had money, but I don't have a story that time.
Yeah.
Because, because normally what we do, we write a story, we look for a budget. So I don't want to write anything without a budget. So first, my idea is, okay, let's get the budget first. So I got the budget. Even that time, I don't have the story. I went to Sri Lanka, back home, TamilEelam. I was there and I started to look for locations. So, look for a location. Even that time, I don't have a story.
No.
I started casting peoples.
Yeah.
Like it's in a reverse way. I did it. So because I want to make sure that within my budget, I want to do a movie.
Yeah.
So I want to choose people come to my budget, like technicians or locations or places, everything. So then, okay, I have everything. Then after that, I started to write a story.
Nice.
So I went the reverse way. So that's why I couldn't stay in my budget, because this movie is like only is like $150,000. It's a very low budget. Many people, they're saying that if you want to do a movie in Sri Lanka, you need over $200,000, blah blah. But no. If you have a good story, a good story in a sense, a planned story. If you have a good budget, reasonable budget, you can make a good movie. That's why we made it, and we control our budget. Like I say, round numbers 150, but we didn't even reach that money, that target. Like we were like less than that.
So we're talking about Oozhi. When does that movie come in to theaters? Can you talk a little bit about the movie?
Yeah, so we finished the movie that we are planning to release worldwide, May 10th. That is our plan. So around the world, like we are planning to release all over Europe, Canada, US, even TamilEelam. That's where the problem is. Obviously, we have to send the censor board to watch the movie. I don't know how they're going to react, but we have a very good legal team in back home right now.
Nice.
They said they're going to fight for it.
Okay.
Nice.
They're going to fight for it. They will make sure that the movie going to get to release in TamilEelam. I hope that's going to happen. But as like a normal Tamil movie is released in worldwide, we're going to do the same plan. We had a distributors right now. Normally, nobody willing to come and buy our movies or take our movies to release. Now we have slightly changing. There's a good news that many distributors from different countries, they said, okay, we'll release your movie.
I think distributors are like, one thing is they want to get these stories to the market too, but another thing is money too, right?
Yeah.
I feel like they saw your past work. They saw how much money that made too, right?
Yeah.
I feel like, do you think that's why they're like distributing this movie too? Like, sure, the importance of telling a story too, but also like you need to make money from these movies too, right?
Yeah.
To sustain ourselves, sustain everybody.
So you know what? Like I think this is the movie is all about planning, right? Like when you know that your budget is very low, that then we all know that okay, what is our goal? How much we have to make?
Yeah.
So the distributors like when they see the budget and when they see like when I get to know the movie about this movie and the previous movie how that movie did. So like I said, like my Sinamkol we made $139,000.
Yeah.
So my Suli, I made that movie within that budget. So like I know my market values.
Yeah.
Okay. $139,000 around the world. Okay, we made that money. So let me do a movie within that budget. I will reach that goal. So I will go more than that. I will make more than that. And but like also like the people who want to release it, they know that okay, how many show they need to do. And it's kind of relaxing way of because when you know like your movie's bigger budget, when you know that you have to reach that and it'll be a tension, you know, like oh I have to do a lot of marketing and I have to work there and this is it. Okay, this is an easy task.
Yeah,
We can do this.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons that the many distributors want to release our movie. And also like the good now is changing, you know, like our movies are doing well in theaters. So the people
Just an easy target.
start coming out and start watching our movies. I hope they're going to do this one too.
So it's an easy target to hit, hopefully, based on your budget, as long as people go see it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's inspiration to us too, right? We're filmmakers, and talking about this, how you're able to make money from like independent movies, is inspiring us to make more movies
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
Yeah.
So thank you. So recently, like in Toronto, I see all these protests, right? Like for supporting Palestine, right? When it comes to like them having their own independent state, right? Do you feel like we didn't have that support? Like, you know, like when it comes to like people supporting Eelams, like having the right to have an independent state? Like, do you sense hypocrisy in that? Like, you know, there's like all of a sudden there's so many people supporting that cause, but you know, when it comes to us, there's not a lot of support for our cause.
Yeah. So you mean also our people not supporting us, but they're also supporting
Yeah,
us?
exactly. Like I know, like, you know, like we have people who support that, but same thing. Yeah, they're not supporting our cause, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess people would. So now people are saying free Palestine, but they're afraid to say free Eelam before.
Yeah, no, we should see this point as an international point of view. One thing is why international community didn't support us because we don't have oil. We don't have any sort of reason to the international government like the US or any other place. You know, the country wants to go and get involved in these kind of wars because they have kind of resource there, and also the US people are internationally powerful. Yeah. They controlling most of the example Oscar. Okay. So yeah, so like that's why the international community start to support them, and also like everybody follow the leader who is the leader. So everybody follow, even though the leader is not right or wrong, they also do that. Okay. So that's why. But right now it's changing because people have like, they knew that, okay, the Palestinians, they have rights to live in their own land because that land belongs to them.
Yep.
You know, they've been there like for many, many years. That land is their land. Okay. So everybody supporting them and I'm supporting them. And even if it comes to the Palestinians, Yasser Arafat, PLO leader, Yasser Arafat was originally like, he's one of the main leader who started like a freedom fight for Palestinian people. We have connection with them.
Okay.
Even I don't know if anybody knows, but most of the freedom fighters went to Palestine or Lebanon to get training.
Eelam freedom fighters.
Yeah.
Okay.
They all like even our many leaders went there. They got training by them. They learned the strategy about war and how then, you know. And one point was our leader's ideal is one of the follower. Like he kind of look after him. Like Yasser Arafat was one of this.
Oh.
or how do you say, like motivational person, like that we were even mentioned in one point. So we have connection, but the main problem is right now. Let's not talk about international people supporting Palestine. Let's talk about our people supporting Palestine, free Palestine, but not free TamilEelam. Why they're not saying? Number one, they don't know the history. If a person who's saying not supporting free TamilEelam, but supporting free Palestinians, because there's a lot of source they can go and read about Palestinians, about history, why this war's happening and everything. When it comes to our struggle, we don't have enough history about the reason.
There's no clear history.
Even our people, even our Tamilian people are asking why we are fighting. Yeah, okay. Why we have to go through this war? Why do you have to do, this kind of question in our older generation, you still have it. Yet why Prabhakaran need to fight for it? Because they don't know the history. They don't know the history, but we don't have a history. We don't have, nobody write about our history. There is no such a history called like how the Sinhalese come to Sri Eelam, and who lived before that. Before in Sri Lankan land is called by TamilEelam, and TamilEelam is our place, which is northern east, is because we call our land, homeland is northern east, but TamilEelam, but Eelam is the original name in Sri Lanka. But our younger generation don't know anything about that. Or they don't want to learn about that. It's another thing is like, it's so cool to say that too, like people who really saying free Palestinian, not free TamilEelam. I said, because they want to, it's cool to say free Palestine. I think that kind of statement they also want. But to these kind of people to know about our TamilEelam, we need to make a movie about it. We need to write a story about it. We need to create our histories. We need to make this generation to understand why we fight. Why there is still fighting happening. We are fighting for our homeland. Why? We need to teach them. We need to let them know about us. I think the movie and writing a stories is useful for them to understand that.
You know what? I agree with that.
Yeah, 100%.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, when you talk about sources, right? Like the history is not clear, right?
Yeah.
Where can we learn about this? Like, sure, there's like, independent movies coming out, but like, I feel like for Palestine, they have so many sources from like all these websites and that they can go, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like we don't have, like, is there something that you can just drop so we can get educated?
He's dropping a movie. That's the
Yeah,
only way.
Okay,
that's one thing, but no, we don't have enough. That's the problem, because we were facing the war like last 30 years. There's a lot of write-up. There's a lot of documents made it, our freedom fighters, but everything got destroyed in the war. So not many documents came out, and here and there some are there. And also the government, Sri Lankan one, what they're doing it, they're controlling YouTube, they're controlling Facebook. Can you put a Talavar picture in Facebook?
Damn, yeah, choo.
Can you believe that? Like, what's happening? Because we don't even have a platform to talk about ourselves.
Yeah.
If you want to do a movie and you put it in a movie about LTDE, somehow the movie is going to get deleted in the YouTube.
Yeah.
And Facebook, you can't even put a Talavar picture there.
Yeah.
You can't even talk about freedom fights or even Taliban. So, in a way, why we have to think one thing, okay? Our younger generation need to think one thing. What's about it again? Why they're stopping us to talk about our story?
Yeah.
Why?
They're
There
scared.
has to be reason. So that's what we need to think, analyze that from that, because if you don't answer that, if you don't question that, you won't get to know your story. And like you said, there is a lot of stories, lot of everything is in social media that people can go and look for a Palestine. We don't have anything about it. We do have, but most of them are in Tamil.
And it's restricted too, right? Because like even here, I think creators have gone through that here. If you make a story about LTTE or Prabhakaran or whatever, Instagram takes it down.
Yeah.
Because they think it's a terrorist thing. Like they don't understand this side of you, right?
When in Palestinians, Hamas or PLO, like Jazeera, about Palestine Vidudalai Iyakam, the Palestine liberations, they call terrorist. And LTT got called, like everybody's calling terrorists, but it's all changed now. Why they changed?
They're trying to change the narrative. Like it's
Right.
but because people are like, learning about their history, so there's
Yeah.
more support.
Support. So our young crowds and our people need to learn about it. Like always I said, you should know your history. You should know who you are. If you don't know who you are, then you are nothing. So I have to ask that question, who am I? Where am I coming from? What is my identity? I am Tamil and what is Tamil? What is Prabhaharan? What is Puligal? What is TamilEelam? What is freedom fight? We need to keep asking the question, why these people fight for it? Okay, I always say to younger generation, okay, if someone can give their life when they were like a 17, 18, 19, can you do that? In Canada, somebody, I'm asking you, like if you're old, you're smart enough, you're saying, yeah, I know the knowledge, I know the terrorism, all. Okay, can you go fight for your country when you're like 16 or 17 or 18? Can you go? Can you become a suicide bomber to kill yourself? No. But these people did their life. They give up their life for what? You here in Canada, dressing up nicely and talk about something. How did it happen? Because your parents came to Canada. Why? How did they came to Canada?
Yes, through a lot of struggle and
Why the
stories.
struggle happened? Why can't they live peacefully in Sri Lanka? No, yeah, they can still. Because of the war, they left the country. Why the war happened? Why your grandparents got killed, or why your grandparents got they never went to university? Why? Why your uncle never got even though he scored a 90 above in O-level, whatever results, high level results he got, a singular person who got 60%, you got 90%, but your singular person get into university, you don't get into university. Why? Your uncle didn't get into university? Or your aunt or your grandparent? Why? Ask that question first. Then you will know the answer.
Yeah.
That is the problem, is our generation don't know the history. But they can sit, there's nothing to learn. No, you go, search for it. There is a movie, there is a film, there is a stories, there's a lot of things there.
Damn, that is so important.
We don't want to read it. We don't want to talk about it. We just stayed, you know what? Yeah, free Palestine. It's just a statement. And 1,000 people going to watch, oh, this guy's, he's good, he's supporting everybody. But your own people, 100, 1,000 people got killed. A woman's got raped. And naked dead bodies is nothing to you. You can't say free TamilEelam for that. As children's, you know how many children's got? There is a point that over 150 school children got killed. That's nothing to you. So that's what the problem is. We need to teach our young generation. I don't blame on them, because they didn't have enough resource to know about this. So as a filmmakers, as a writers, as a creators, this is our job. I don't want my kids or my grandkids to become nobody.
Damn, that is powerful.
And this is why they have to come and watch a movie.
Yeah, this is why you're doing such a good job with your filmmaking. You're dedicating your life to sharing these stories when no one else can or will or has the resources. Like, you have experience and knowledge, and you're putting your efforts into sharing those stories. So thank you for that. I'm sure the audience will thank you for that too. Mm-hmm. So I urge everyone to watch Oozhi. May 10th is releasing worldwide.
Yes.
Yeah, so go find your tickets. We'll share the links, and we'll try to get the word out there, because I think what you're doing is so important, right?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing about it. Like, watching my movie, not only you're watching my movie, you're going to watch about your country, about your people. If you think that you're liberated and you are in Canada, you think everybody is equal, but there's a people in Sri Lanka, in back home, our country, our TamilEelam land, they're not equal. Mm-hmm. They're facing a lot of issues there. So you want to support them. You want to make a change for their life, for your country, you need to watch, you need to know your history. So Oozhi is one of the things.
Yeah, it's just one movie.
One movie. There's many movies going to come, many filmmakers going to do. But we need to support. If you support this movie, if you come and watch this movie, and this movie get hit, or if we made the money, there's many movies going to come. And most of the business people going to think, okay, let's produce movies. then our industry will grow. Then we will have the history, documentations, all we will have to know about our life, about history.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just saying, like, come and watch it. Also in Uli, I want to mention this because I don't want a kids like under 13. I want them to come and watch this movie for free.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yes, because I know like now is economically situations, so people not like everybody's struggling, right? So if I want our kids to know the stories. We have a subtitle. Obviously, everybody can understand our language, but not everybody can speak.
Yeah.
So we still have a subtitle. I want everybody to come. So under 13, so parents who are watching this or brothers and sisters who are watching, if you have our brothers or sisters or cousins or whoever under 13, bring them.
Yeah.
I want bring them to watch this their land, their story.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you don't know who you are,
Yeah.
then you become nobody into this world, and you are, so everybody like under 13 is free.
Okay.
And it's like everybody said, how are you going to manage it? No, we don't make movie to make money. We make movie to tell our story. So that's the whole idea.
Yeah, and if you can make money along the way, that's a good thing too.
Yeah,
because we
of
want
course.
everybody to be successful. Because if we can sustain ourselves, then it can inspire other people to make movies like this, and our industry can grow, our people can grow. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on Punch Dialogue and having a serious dialogue about the movie, about the situation, about everything.
Yeah.
And all the best to you, to the movie, and everything else you do in the future, man.
And we'll be there on May
course.
10th.
Thank you guys having me, and it's I never did these kind of interviews like I always do in Tamil.
Yeah.
But it's something is different. I hope I did my part, and
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And I want to say I got educated on so many things I didn't know about, which you spoke about. So thank you for that.
Okay.
And for sure, like our audience, like learned a lot from this podcast too. And as always, make sure to subscribe to our podcast.
Yeah, share this podcast with your group chats. We learned a lot today. Myself, I learned a lot. So hopefully your friends can learn a lot too.
Yeah.
And come and watch the movie May 10th. Oozhi.
Thank you.